guests, distinguished representatives of the media, civil society leaders, families, and fellow Gambians. Good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the National Youth Parliament of the Gambia, I warmly welcome you all to this joint press conference convened by African Migration Advisory Center, Ibrahima Migrant Situation Foundation, and Gambia European Center for Jobs, Migration and Development Agency. We thank the national and international media for responding to this call. Your presence today reflects the seriousness of the moment we are facing as a nation. Before we begin this press conference, I invite everyone present to observe a moment of prayer according to their own faith. Amen. Now I ask you to join us in a 1-minute moment of silence. This silence is for the young men, women, children, and babies of the Gambia who have drowned, who are missing, or who are displaced along the most dangerous migration routes in the world. Please, let's have 1 minute of silence. Thank you. We are transitioning to the statements now. We will now proceed with the official statement from the organizing institutions. I invite the representative of the African Migration Advisory Center to deliver their statement. Mr. Adian Collis, the floor is yours.
This is a national public statement. It's a humanitarian presumption of death. Missing migrant vessel from Jinnik Island, the Gambia, issued by myself, African Migration Advisory Center, Banjul. Today we speak with a heavy hearts. The first statement we make today concerns the missing migrant vessel that departed from the shores of Jinnik Island here in the Gambia on the 17th of November 2025. The vessel carried approximately 119 men, women and children. Today, the African Migration Advisory Centre confirms that the following: a careful humanitarian and technical assessment, the migrant vessel that left Jinnik Island on the 17th of November 2025 is humanitarianly presumed lost at sea without any survivors. As of today, 5th January 2026, a total of 49 days have elapsed. Since this vessel departed from the Gambia for 49 days, families have waited. They have listened for phones to ring. They have lived in silence and in pain. During this entire period, there have been no distress signals, no sightings, no confirmed interceptions, and no verified landings recorded by regional or international maritime authorities. Despite active monitoring and establishing search and rescue systems operating across the wider Atlantic Ocean, the vessel involved was an open wooden fishing boat powered by an outboard engine attempting the Atlantic crossing towards the Canary Islands. Based on the available evidence, there is no medical, scientific or operational plausible scenario under which any person on this vessel could survive. The humanitarian determination is grounded in a documented fact-based technical assessment. That assessment examines the vessel type, engine and fuel capacity, water availability, human survival limits at sea, Atlantic drift patterns at complete absence of distress alerts, signals, interceptions or landings across a regional and international search and rescue system of over 49 days per period. This determination is made solely for humanitarian reasons. It is not political, it assigns no blame, it places no legal processes. It is made to give families truth, clarity, and dignity. It allows families to mourn without uncertainty, to acknowledge loss without doubt, and to be treated with humanity and respect. Should any remains are ever recovered in the future, the humanitarian determination in no way prevents identification, investigation, or justice. Today we stand with the families of Jinnik. We honour them who never returned, and we reaffirm that every life lost at sea matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Ibrahim Drame, known as Ibrahim Migration Situation. Today we present a clear narrative on the evolution of irregular migration from the Gambia, describing how it has changed over time, why it declined during period of transition and hope, and why in 2025 it has reached a level of losses that constitute a humanitarian emergency. Regular migration during the Jammeh era, during the rule of Yahya Jammeh in 1994 and 2017, the Gambia lived under a regime many Gambians sought regular migration pathway due to the political repression, limited opportunity, fear of the regime. Regular migration often took lands and Mediterranean routes. Smugglers were active, but departures were less maritime focused. Despite significant departure, there was no content partners of the entire Gambian boat disappear at sea. Dead occupied, but we are not in the self currently being witnesses. This era saw regular migrations as a response to system political, and the era saw regular migration as a response to a systematical political and economic pressure, but which few Gambians lost without trace at the sea. The Libyan war and the Mediterranean routes after the 2021 conflicts in Libya, regular migration dramatically shifted. Libya became a major transit hub for migration attempting to reach the European via the central Mediterranean. Smuggling network expand across the West Africa and the North Africa. Many Gambians, alongside other nationalities, attempted the Mediterranean crossing. This journey were dangerous and climbing life, but the departures were regional rather than concentrated from the Gambian coast. The dead were spread across the nationalities and not unique disadvantage of the one small nation. The Libyan era made Europe seem reachable but did not yet trigger mass departure directly from Gambians. The pandemic impact and the dip in the departures. The global COVID-19 pandemic 2020-2021 introduced a new dramatic border close travel because more difficulties, economic and social disputes were whispering. Many Gambian youths reported reduced intention to migrate in the period due to the movement restriction and the height. During this pandemic, regular migration across the region, including from West African, declined significantly, reflecting a push in the migration movement rather than a change in motivation. Democratic and transition and hopes. In 2017, following the departure of the former President Yahya Jammeh in 2017, the Gambia entered a period of democratic transition under the President Adama Barrow. During this transition, the hope of the democratic government and opportunity increased. Many Gambians believed change would bring stability and job. Regular migration departure declined comparing to the peak of the Jammeh era. In the early Mediterranean, the young people expressed renewing confidence and domestic progress rather than living. For several years, this sense of hope and improvement, governments were associated with a dip in regular migration departure. Why 2025 is different? The humanitarian emergency. In 2025, regular migration has reached an unprecedented humanitarian crisis for the Gambia. The crisis is driven by misinformation spread on social media, especially on TikTok, spread in Europe as easy to reach, and the life abroad are currently succeeded. Young Gambians living without telling their families out of fear of being stopped. Narrative from abroad About through social media or particular accounts from detention, hiding, hardship, deportation, and death, increasing activities of smuggling networks targeting Gambian youths with dangerous promises. Confirm human losses. This one I'm coming to read, this is very important. Last year we have been given a lot of, I think 1,600 Gambians dead. This year we cover 893 Gambians dead from January on the 1st to December 31st. 31st. 893 Gambians has lost their life. 840 die in the sea. 53 die on the land. 26 migrant boats disappear without any trace. These 26 boats, Gambians are part of these 26 boats. We have 70 migrant boats that disappeared this year, 2025, through Spain, this route to Spain. But we have 2 Gambian boats that disappear on the 5th of December from Gambia in Jinek. On the 17th of November also disappear from December Jinek. The total we have is like 72 boats has disappeared in totally 2025. Both from Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, and other places. But those 72 boats, there are 26 boats. Gambians are part of those people. 730 Gambians or die missing in the sea. 74 missing on the land. Last year, these 26 migrant boats, there were 730 Gambian migrants who are part of those. The 26 boats, these 26 boats, some boats departed from Gambia here, some departed from Senegal, some departed from Morocco, some departed from Mauritania, and some departed from Algeria. 730 people, 30 migrants, those are the Gambians we get information. 74 people of this, there are another 74 missing in the land. Those who are missing in the Sahara Desert, or they have other people like in Tunisia, Libya, and other places. We have a number of 777 Gambian in 2025. 173 Gambian migrants arrived in Europe. 6,173 Gambians who arrived in Europe in 2025. 6,173 Gambian. In Spain, we have 111 different boats that arrive. Gambians are part of those boats. 111 boats that Gambians are part of it. Those boats departed from Algeria, Mauritania, Morocco, Senegal, Guinea-Conakry, and Gambia here. A total of 5,119 Gambians has arrived in Spain. 5,119 Gambians has arrived in Spain. 170 different boats from various countries. This one in Spain, the 2025 alone, they have more than 170 different migrant boats that arrived there from different countries in the sub-region here. In Libya, there are Gambians who also departed from Libya and Tunisia who arrived in 52 different migrant boats, total 1,054 Gambians that arrived in Italy in 2025. These 1,054 Gambians, 52 different boats, 17 boats departed from Tunisia, the remaining ones departed from in Libya. As I am speaking, on the 17th of this month, 17th of November, a migrant boat departed from Jinek with more than 190 people on this boat. Another second boat departed on the 5th of December with more than 200,000 people. 200 people in this boat, both women and children. On the 17th boat, we make inquiry on this boat. We following this boat. I can say more than 1 month. We were trying to find the location of this boat. But at the end, we have published the boat. The boat has sunk. We believe 100% though. this boat had sunk. On the 5th of December boat also, there are 200 people missing. We're still trying to verify this boat, and we are still doing our best to work with our colleagues, other humanitarian boats in Mauritania, Senegal, Mali, Morocco, Spain, everywhere we can have access, Cape Verde, to discuss with these people, to give them the information about this boat. But still now, we couldn't have more information about this boat. Before the end of this week, inshallah, we'll come out with something. We'll tell the family about this boat. In 2025, 8,284 Gambian migrants were intercepted, about 45 different migrant boats. This interception was followed by 11 migrant boats was intercepted in Gambia here, 18 intercepted in Senegal, 9 intercepted in Mauritania, 7 intercepted in Morocco. 5,749 Gambian migrants were deported or voluntarily returned by themselves. This 5,749 Gambians were deported or voluntarily returned by themselves back in Gambia from January to December 31st. In 2025, 69 migrant boats departed from Gambian shores here. Of these, 24 migrant boats arrived in Spain, while 45 migrants intercepted. This is not a valid data from the IOM or from the immigration or from the Gambia Red Cross. These are our own data. We normally have these data as every day we connect with the migrant themselves, direct connection with them. Every day they left, we understand this. Every day they left, we get information. When we get the information, we try and record this information. And every year we record this information. When we record the information, at the end of year, we publish this. Last year I was not in the country, but we have sharing this information with the all the social media houses, I believe so. Okay. In 2025, 3,090 people has died through Spanish border due to lack of protection of their life, increases long and dangerous routes. Mortality rate increased significantly in the area of Algeria, like 121 tragedy happening in Algerians way, those who departed from Algeria. Last year it was Mauritania. Last year alone, I think we have 130 something disasters from Mauritania, Senegal. But this year, Algeria is the most. The total number of the victims wrote in this is 1,037, double to the record of last year in 2024. A total missing boat passengers was 47 visual that disappear in the Algerian routes. Like we can say 67% of the boats that have problem this year are all departed from Algerian side. 3 days ago, I was in Facebook, I write something. I was speaking with some Gambians. These are 18 Gambians who departed last week from Algeria in the sea. Still now, we don't have any information with these people. And we believe so they are not alive anymore, because in Algeria, you cannot depart from Algeria to Lanzarote and other places more than 1 week. And they don't have that kind of fuel. They don't have the water. Last week, these 18 people, they departed in Algeria, inside the capital, Algiers. Still now, there is no hope. We don't have any hope on that. These are all Gambians. They are 18 in number. They are all Gambians. So this year, about 67% of those people who have problems in the sea normally are all coming out from Algerian side. In 2025 also, for 192 women, 437 children arrived in Quetta, those normally who departed from Morocco. In 24, you can say 24% of those. The victim children and teenagers, the people from 30 different countries who lost their life in the ship. But today we are not concentrate on those 30 countries, we are concentrating in the Gambia here. The Gambians who lost their life in the ship. In January 1st to January 31st in 2025, we have 1,865 Gambian migrants who just died in the ship. That is just from January to on the 31st of May. So, but from May to come to June, July, it's go very low. But from August, September, October, it always it was low also. But from November, December, there was another biggest disasters. normally from our Gambia here. As we last week, we all know Comando Fronteras in Spain, they published it. In this, I think last week they make a publication on this. About 3,000 lives was lost, with 70 migrant boats disappear without any trace of these people. Last year we have 3 migrant boats that disappear from Gambia here, one from Khartoum, if I don't believe, on the 17th of November, 19 November it disappeared from Khartoum. On the 14th also another boat disappeared from, I think, Gunjur. Last year we have like 3 migrant boats that disappear totally without no information up to today. This year we have only 2 boats from on the 17th and on the 17th of October, on the 9th and on the 5th of December. In Spain, what we understand here, in Spain, 30,692 people have arrived in Spain last week. The Interior Minister has given. There were 34,251 migrants. 30 of them, 30,692 arrived by sea, 1,154 with small boats or canoes, normally coming out from Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania. 29.2% decrease on this. Last year was too much people that came. This was caused by many problems in Senegal. There was a political problems in Senegal, in Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Conakry. But this year, what we understand is that 30,692 arrival in Spain through canoes. In Baltic Island also the arrival was declined. This we have 453 in October to 408 in November. Yet the total arrival of the year reaching 6,688, you can say representing like 28.3% compared to 2024. Arrival by the sea, mainland Spain decreased from 740 in October to 574 in November, and the annual total fell by 8.7% from 7,855 in 2024 to 7,167 in 2025. The city's arrival by sea were very limited, 5 in Quito, 25 in Melilla. In land, arrival increased with 3,268 enter in Quito, like 39.4% increase. 291 to Melilla represented like 221.9% increase compared to 2024. The irregular migration uploaded 94% migrant enter in Spain through regular channel, according to the Spanish Commission of Refugees. Between 70% to 80% of those arrival in 2024 applied asylum and conflict prostitution, violence on serious human rights violation. According to UNHCR, 31st August, 400 people died in Canary Island routes, 216 attempted to reach mainland Spain in Baltic Island. 89.88% of young undocumented migrants arrive in Spain are African originated from these countries. Morocco have 59.16% arrival. Gambia is the second with 15.47%. Algeria is 9.72%. Senegal is 5.59%. Guinea-Conakry is 2.99%. In Italy, migrant arrival declined this by 0.48% in 2025, according to the Interior Ministry. In last week, a total of 66,296 regular migration arrived by sea, certainly fewer than 66,617 recorded in 2024, and represented a 57.59% decrease compared to 2023, when 157,651 arrivals were recorded. By countries of origin, Algeria 1,812 arrival by 31% increase in 2024 and 192.3% increase in 2025. Tunisia 4,841,000 arrival, like 71.5% decrease from 2024 and in 95% decrease from 2023. Libya 84,408 arrival, 38.1% increase from 2024 and 12.4% increase from 2023. In Italy, Gambians, many Gambians who arrived in Italy this past years normally in Tunisia and Libya. But as we all know, there are a lot of pushback in Italy now, in Tunisia. To depart in Tunisia is very difficult now to depart there. And as we all know, we always perplexed in Tunisia. Their national, the Coast Guard in Libya, for me, I call them as the so-called guard, because these are the decent people. We pay them to transport us, and these are the decent people who go and kick our boat and kill a lot of people and return them to put them in prison. So this year, Gambian is very low in Gambia. Last year, we have like 6,000 Gambians who crossed from Libya, Tunisia, to enter in Italy, but this year we have 1,054 Gambians who arrive in Italy. This is what I have for you for now. Thank you.
Francis Moore Center for Rights and Justice. We express our profound grief and condolences to the families of the youths who lost their lives in the recent Backway tragedy off the coast of Jinak, and indeed all other cases. And we wish to those who were rescued also to have speedy and full recovery. The persistent occurrence of these dangerous and deadly journeys reflect a deep and a long-standing malaise afflicting Gambian society. While EF Small Center considers the Backway to be unsafe, dangerous, and unacceptable, and therefore urges young people to refrain from undertaking it, we cannot ignore the structural conditions that have sustained this phenomenon for decades. Migration is a human right. However, when migration by any means becomes a widespread preoccupation driven by desperation and the search for greener pastures, it raises serious socio-economic and governance questions that require honest, direct, and sustained national conversation. The Backway did not emerge in isolation. Rather, it arose as a response to deep deprivation, limited opportunities, and persistent hardship within the country. It is important to recognize that both the unskilled, undereducated, poorly paid, and underprivileged, as well as the highly educated, skilled, and relatively privileged Gambians seek to leave the Gambia, albeit through different routes. What unites them is not mindset or attitude, rather the dire socio-economic conditions and limited prospects at home. Therefore, the core issue is not whether migration occurs through the front way or the back way, but the conditions that justify and fuel these journeys. At the same time, EF Small Center emphasizes that while it raises serious concerns about both regular and irregular migration, particularly the loss of life and the accelerating brain drain, it is also an established and undeniable fact that migrants play a critical role in sustaining the Gambian economy. Remittances sent by Gambians in the diaspora account for more than 30% of the country's GDP. These remittances support households, they finance education and healthcare, and sustain small businesses and cushion families against economic shocks. This reality exposes a fundamental structural contradiction. While the state benefits immensely from migration-generated income, it has failed to create comparable opportunities at home that would allow citizens to live with dignity without risking their lives or being forced to leave the country. The Small Center also acknowledges that the vast majority of Gambian youth remain in the country, working diligently as carpenters, fisherfolk, taxi drivers, market vendors, plumbers, engineers, farmers, artisans, and professionals across multiple sectors. Yet, even among those who are working, frustration persists due to low incomes, rising living costs, limited social mobility, and weak public services. Alarmingly, we have observed that workers from the formal sector, including civil servants, security officers, and private sector employees, are also abandoning their jobs to embark on the back way, underscoring the depth of the national crisis. A Small Center therefore notes that as long as a viable socio-economic conditions and effective governance remain absent, both regular and irregular migration will continue leading to loss of life, depletion of human capital, and severe national loss. In all scenarios, the Gambia loses immensely. For this reason, EF Small Center for Rights and Justice calls on the government, its development partners, civil society organizations and the private sector to jointly design and implement robust, sustainable, innovative, and effective measures that expand and, employment opportunities, improve incomes, ensure access to quality goods and services, and promote shared prosperity. 60 years after independence, national development remains largely ad hoc, disjointed, and weak. In many instances, relevant policies either do not exist or are poorly implemented, resulting in minimal impact. Public institutions continue to underperform, delivering inefficient and low-quality services without accountability. Budgetary allocations to the youth sector remain disproportionately low, leaving key institutions such as the National Youth Service Scheme, the National Youth Council, President's International Award, National Enterprise Development Initiative, and others chronically underfunded, centralized around the Greater Banjul area, and largely absent from rural and provincial communities. Across sectors, critical to youth development, education, skills, training, sports, tourism, performing arts, entrepreneurship, and technology, there is a glaring absence of national infrastructure to sustain continuous programming and long-term interventions. This reality is reflected in the government's own 2025 labor survey, which indicates that 41% of Gambian youth are not in education, employment, or training, highlighting the severe inadequacy of opportunities and resources available to young people. EF Small Center is firmly of the view that the lasting solution to the Backway lies in strong, coordinated, and sustained government intervention that deliberately links education and skills training to the real economy. This requires genuine political will to formulate the right policies and ensure their efficient, accountable, and committed implementation. We further recommend the establishment of a national commercial or development finance institution capable of providing accessible low-interest capital to qualified youth entrepreneurs. In addition, we call for increased funding, expansion, decentralization, and operational strengthening of youth development institutions, including the NYSS, PIA, and related bodies. The Gambia possesses immense potential and opportunities to create an enabling environment for youth development and shared prosperity. The challenge is not that young people are lazy or believe success is only possible abroad. Rather, the challenge lies in the failure of successive governments to accurately diagnose the problem and respond with coherent, comprehensive, and effective solutions. For far too long, policy responses have been piecemeal and ineffective. The time has come for a decisive change of course. In the interim, EF Small Center calls on the government to ensure effective surveillance and policing of Gambian waters, to prevent, detect, and apprehend illegal migrant boats and their operators. It is inexcusable that despite the presence of the police and the Navy, such boats continue to evade detection. EF Small Center further calls for thorough investigations and the prosecution of all perpetrators involved in organizing and facilitating these deadly journeys. We remain committed to advocating for policies, institutions, and governance systems that place human dignity, opportunity, accountability, and justice at the center of national development. I thank you.
Thank you, Brahma, colleagues. Thank you, Madi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. So today I'm not just speaking for the only the public, but also for the local community. Mbadi Manjibekang Daoda, Albadi Malam Sidi Sherikan. I'm the founder of We Migrants, the founder of What's on Italy, the FORS European page, basically on migration and information website. I think Ibrahim could be one of those people who were helping me before he would create this website. So I think I know also more about such tragedies happening in our community. But today I'm not sitting here with statistics, I'm here with pain. And in recent days we see that young Gambians, our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters have died on the journey to Europe, but not only in Tunisia, but also in our own country, in our own community. We see that some of them drowned in the sea, some disappeared in the desert, and some died quietly, far from home, with grief, without any farewell to their family and their friends. Families are still waiting with phone calls that will never come. They are waiting, hoping, and still some don't believe that their children perish in the Mediterranean Sea or the Sahara Desert. These were not criminals. These were not lazy people. and they were not foolish people. They were young people chasing dignity, survival, and also hope, because everyone who flee your country, and there is always a reason for that person to flee his or her country. And let's all speak the truth, the hard truth about this issue. No one choose death, and no one among them choose to escape. And when death becomes part of the journey, it means something is deeply wrong at home and deeply crucial on the road. But we have to talk about the crucial problem in our community, in our country, because basically everybody is making a statement, but I want to say to the community, to our family members, to know the real truth about this journey. Myself, I'm a victim. I experienced this. I went through this journey. I took this route to Libya, and I flee from Gambia to Europe. Speaking local language because I want our people to know we are speaking to them directly. I think this is one thing that is missing. We have to know that Melika Sirim Bunko Ban Jibekan Yendalanoko, member caring Nagambe Bankokan and Nufalang in our community. In Backway, Nanoko, Jamabaji and Transifal, we have the privilege be Matamadulato, but we want to tell you the hard fact. Well, Atina, Katanda Lako, Ninsilo Alcamo Yamin, Abenyamin, Iman. The traffickers will lie to you. They will tell you what you want to hear, but the hard fact is 7 days in this journey is like sacrificing 80% of your life. I'll be very, very, very honest to you guys. So, nanim balmel serious wokono. Nyal diun kal ko mboko do so ko molme yalon ko ika kodo jo inira family be ika dindi merawo de nano sungul dindi merawo kamande merawo family mumeo iko ka kulungo jo because the brief tago ni na family be ka tan kata tubabu dule ngon kata mi lan kata ni ndro je nyum frère je don foire ya banta. All these things pains me because I know and I knew and I see when people are taking this journey. Na mo yel median ko yebu fankan jio kono yebu fankan kulun kono ngato nyala falide na mo yel median ko bi sahara desa kono yesumne yemin la sumna la pour que jio so memminna wala nyaata ko mbato nyaafala bi. I want to say this because nanyolu banyolu wala ke dingol ke pous ka fay ko alen tamasirota pour alen bandi ko lel kono bari nyaajo falam bakela bi. Because of community, memento society, the government have to speak out. They have to speak about this because this is a tragedy. And I just saying, Gambia is a center where people will come and pay money to travel to Europe. This is not only about the families; it's about our country, and we have to speak it. Well, I don't know for number kamfo o ka angala ko mafo at fiala. I'll have to say the truth. No one chooses that. Like I said, our mothers in the Gambias are, burying their dreams. Instead of children, fathers are crying in silence. Mfanyo kumbokang duma halatara ko almaji to banyishi the bunko the killing kumbola lungolung. This is something me along ko. It is hurting me. Yesterday I was speaking to some of my family members and bani mfanya story for long. So when I said share some small story to them, all of them, some of them were crying. My mother start asking me akunjeko amanjere continue because ajiso ala one of the heart is paining her just to hear what I went through. So we can more roja kudo kana konfira to babudu anyinenka minimum the truth. This is the reason why na program o yele make the Backway kacha. I bring influencers, celebrities, Gambian big names, people like Fatou Jaune, share her story. If you go to YouTube, you listen to those people. Atanjila ko mo kulun ko melan ko anin denno awulu to kulun ko dolbe je yebu la kulun ko ayo la mo la hani. I've seen people who are successful in Tubabu but nyela story for ya même pass e dunguli wulu dunguli la brother soul they will not allow them to take this journey. So this is a true fact about this journey. So ko mo me yalon ko til wara wula batar jiokono kulun ko Ibrahim can be there and what I hear today from Ibrahim, it pains me. Yet the journey continues from the Gambia. Why? Because poverty shouts louder than warnings. Because unemployment pushes harder than fear. Na Gambia Bankokan. And this Nyaman settled, it will be very, very hard for us to fight for this. But we have to say the truth. Because hope and even false hope can be stronger than reasons. So Gambia jang koliata la fa akara kude me alon ko funding call they don't believe Gambia anymore. And this is really, really bad for our country. But now we need you, the media. We need the media because we must say the clear and honest truth today. The Backway is a lie. It promised life, but it delivers death. Ning tama shilo bole nyama. Karaba fale gondu tubabu du. Nyimo chemel tala. Last year in 2021, I was sent by the German foreign office, to deliver, to sensitize. We went to 3 countries, Ghana, Gambia. You understand? But when I came here, what did I do? We went to schools, we went to community level to tell you guys, but smart migration is important. Before you travel to you need to know banku ñaadi la mo yemine expect ka long banko nyinto you don't just go ita kare mo kare tuba bu la story la mfala ngara banko na kulun jona dun kulun kono. This is something we should know nta fa moy ko kanta because I went through the same but ñaata ko mo mo temi alanko ne kan hanin jaw mba fa ne ko ñibe la mo lañ ne kala ñi mbako ta man jarala of course ñi do tuba bu do but mo ba tuba bu do bi e me fan na fano e me ba na fano e me fan na fano yenyi silota ka bi fotata e ñaalu mata e ko dunta ñokono dolbe je bi wolu ital fesate wol ti jang so some fali wolam ko we have to tell our people the hard fact but also ntel même fon ka fon do wale ko al kulungu jonata mba kulungu jole hey mome yala mo kan aliaje membe kere mo membe fakan is too much ibrahim statistic membe for jang how many boards are missing 26 board with Gambians. More than 700 of Gambians are missing. Thousands of Gambians are dead, are perished. This is something that we should take very seriously. I am a 2 times award winner. I'm a migrant activist. Basically, when I came here, Ibrahim told me about this. I was like, Ibrahim, anytime. But the reason why I'm here, because I don't want to come, not Angela come from Mangala come from me. But in Nal member seeding, and Jibekan, Wolanyanda Lonna, Musokomomi along Kwakain Silota. Now Daniel in Kilai. I beg, I urge each and every one of you, we have to play impact. Each and every one of you, the media personals, brothers and sisters, we have to sensitize the community too. But the government also have to play an impact. Ita funding ka kordatio, nyaja banko, ila korda kone, mamaw baje miano ngomberia. You have to stand up and speak and talk because they want to hear from you. Your children want to hear from you. Kordatio nyadiamta, they give hope to kids. So I'm urging each and every one of you, Kabasando for Duma, Momo Yaloko Banjibe Kanjang. This is my statement for you, many of our brothers and sisters, children, the most vulnerable in our community are dying. So Nyimeko coming for statement D, this is the hard fact from me, and this is the first time telling you ko. I'm telling you, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see people telling you their stories, more year long, they can't multi be, can't fenty. But your main face means Shilo Kanya Foe, it in Shilo Mala. So I know there is possibility for us to, achieve our goals here. And Hanibita Tamashiloka, please do it. If you're going to make a decision, make it by yourself. Kana Dimosika, Kana Musosika, Ali Tamashiloka. You believe 99% go, it's a lie. So therefore, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Operation Prevention First. The humanitarian response to the humanitarian emergency. The Gambia is facing a national humanitarian emergency driven by irregular migration. Thousands of young Gambians have died, gone missing, or remain unaccounted for on the Atlantic routes. Criminal smuggling networks are selling the journey to Spain and the Grand Canaries as an 8-day boat trip, deliberately hiding the truth. The Atlantic route is one of the most dangerous migration routes on earth, where survival depends on water, fuel, and chance. Scale of the crisis. These gangs make 14 to 17 million Gambian dollars per boat, approximately 200,000 to 250,000 US dollars on each overloaded canoe. By deceiving families, exploiting at present, prevention in the Gambia is effectively zero, while criminal networks operate freely along the shoreline. If this continues, more Gambians will be lost to the sea, and pressure on Spain, particularly in the Grand Canaries, will continue to rise. Until systems are overwhelmed, prevention is better than cure. The solution, prevention first. Stopping deportees at source saves lives, reduces arrivals, and shuts down the criminal networks profiting from deception and debt. This approach protects young lives, restores state control, and prevents a deepening humanitarian disaster on both sides of the Atlantic. This is the solution. Spain's role, this is a formal invitation to Spain. Spain is already a frontline humanitarian responder along the Atlantic route. Spanish naval and rescue services, particularly in the Gran Canaries, are bearing a sustained humanitarian burden caused by deportees, organising far beyond Spanish waters. Under Operation Prevention First, Spain is respectfully invited to build upon its existing presence and experience by joining a Gambian-led prevented humanitarian operation focused on saving lives before boats leave for open sea. Spain's operational contribution. Within a Gambian sovereign command structure, Spain would work closely and operationally with forces already on the ground, including Gambian Navy, Gambian Immigration, Gambian Police Force, Gambian Armed Forces. Spanish naval intelligence and technical teams would provide support, expertise and capacity to assist joint operations. To dismantle organised smuggling networks operating along the shoreline. Reclaim and secure known departure hotspots. Strengthen, coordinate coastal river and sea patrols. Support lawful controls on fishing vessels and outboard engines. Assist in regulating the monitoring of PMS fuel supplies, ensuring fuel is used strictly for legitimate fishing needs. Preventive impact. This cooperation represents a shift from reactive rescue to preventive life-saving cutting of boats, fuel, routes and profits before departure. Spain's long-standing expertise in counter-smuggling operations and maritime coordination and humanitarian rescue makes it a natural and valued partner. We formally and respectfully invite Spain to participate in this operation of Prevention First as a partner in prevention, protection and shared responsibility. Conclusion. Operation Prevention First recovers the profit and logistics that make smuggling possible by reclaiming shorelines, controlling vessels and fuel, and acting before departure. The Gambian protects life, sovereignty, and its future, while erasing dangerous pressures on Spain. Prevention is better than cure. Detailed technical and operational plans are available upon request. Thank you.
Camara, a young author and poet, and the writer of the book, The Dream Chaser.
Imagine a heart full of dreams, a soul full of hopes, not for luxury, but to survive. These were the words of our lost brothers and sisters. Good day to you all. I am Awa Kamara, and this piece is dedicated to the lost brothers and sisters in the sea. And here it is. Few weeks ago, we lost sons of this land, brothers of this soil. They walked through burning desert, not for greed, but to survive. They believe Europe will give them a life. But now the sea carries their names, and silence carries their pain. Suñuy doom, suñuy mag ak suñuy rakk yi ndox ba jël na leen lu metti ba ñépp di ko waxantoo. Mama still stands at the door. She listened to footsteps, hoping her child will knock once more, but only the waves return. No hope, no voice, only dreams swallowed by the sea. Nanim fal ba kumbola, katu idingol to tobacco. Banko bele sunuta, ninkuwo dimin na fangole warta. This is a wake-up call. To the government, our youths are dying, chasing hopes. Invest in them. Build opportunities. Listen to their cries and stand for them, not just empty promises. To the youths, your future is not buried in foreign lands. Believe in yourself, work hard, and be patient. You know, the sea was the same journey our ancestors take, with change and pains and a heartbroken heart. But today, our youth still emerge in this journey willingly, but yet enslaved with poverty. And this journey must end. Thank you all.
Batakunku here. And 2 days ago, there's a migrant boat that departed from Bara with 180 people. 45 of them are women, 17 of them are children. 5 people are in in the hospital. Yesterday, I get a call, 2 of them died. One boy from Musa, from Basse Manekunda, another one from Bara. I couldn't identify the name. But I already spoken with their families yesterday. They all lost their life though. So, in another 2 days ago, there's another migrant boat that departed from Banjul also. They spent 8 days. That boat also with more than 100. 1 second, I have to check this thing out. That one also we have like 124 people in total in that boat. So normally in this December 6 days, from December 1st to today, 595 people have arrived in Spain with 3 different boats. In total, we have 428 men, 110 women, and 54 children. These are the people who arrived just 6 days from December, on the 1st of January to today. So if Dr. Cisse says it's Christian, well, this is the statistics we can tell doctor, and this has never happened in Jammeh's era, and this has never happened in other of them. But these boats are all departed from here. That's why I always tell people, don't blame Jinek. These 3 boats I'm telling here, 2, one is from Batakunku, one is from Bara, one is from Banjul. These are not Jinek. They are all coastal areas here. So these are people, these are 592, they all departed from Gambia. And this, when for us, when we check it, normally 300 of them are Gambian, maybe the other 250 or 290 are other sub-Saharan African migrants.
Yeah, let me add to say, the situation of the Backway, the casualties that we are seeing, is an epidemic. All right. And I don't think it is appropriate for a minister or any government official to want to divert the issue into comparing the past and the present, and without giving any evidence. And when we know the situation from 2017 to date, the report, from the media alone, in terms of both accidents, deaths, are unprecedented. Since the emergence of Backway in this country. Now, the fundamental issue should be what the government is doing to confront this matter. And all indications are that even if government is doing anything, it is hugely inadequate, because boats are leaving. Many communities have dozens of their sons and daughters perish in the Backway, leaving the waters here, crossing. When we have a navy, we have a police. Why is there no police post in Jinak, for example, or in or a navy post down there, or immigration post? But again, you have police in Banjul, you have navy in Banjul, both leave Banjul. You have police in Kato, in Batokoko, and both leave those places. What are those police stations or security forces? What are they doing to allow this to pass? What is the government doing as a whole to deal with the issue, in fact, at home? To create socio-economic conditions for which it would be not necessary for Gambians to go on the back way. You've seen the government launch a circular migration with Spain. 10,000 youths applied, only to take 39 people, and 33 absconded. That alone tells you something is fundamentally wrong in this country that needs to be addressed. So the minister needs to stop playing with lives, because this is what it amounts to play with lives with rationalizations, distorted rationalization, misleading and deflecting the issue into the former regime and the present government, which is more on. No one government should be on the back way. No one government should die. That is what the minister should be seriously busy about, than telling us we are doing well simply because the figures are lower today, when you have not given any evidence at all. But when all the evidence is very glaring, that Backway is increasing, and that needs to be confronted.
The Senegambia observe, your campaigns have been ongoing, yet departures continue to increase. What is the fundamental disconnect between awareness campaigns and actual behavioral change among potential migrants? Is it purely economic desperation, or are there other factors at play?
Andre will help you on this.
Can you repeat just a little bit there? I didn't catch it
Yes,
there.
given that your campaigns have been ongoing, yet departures continue to increase, what is the fundamental disconnect between awareness campaigns and actual behavioral change among potential Gambian migrants? Is it purely economic desperation, or are there other factors at play?
There are other factors. People that have gone to Spain that are actually in detention and their liberties taken off them. They're taking pictures outside, selfies of nice cars and fancy apartments, and sending them home, say, look, this is what Europe is about. Yet their liberty is taken. The misinformation and the narrative has to change. I mean, it's got to the stage now where young people are leaving their compound without even telling their parents. I have two ladies and a young boy too on that boat on the 17th. I met their parents yesterday, and they both said, their parents said straight up that they left the compound without even saying anything to the parents. So the dynamics are changing. The social fabric is changing. No longer is it the parent pushing the child or the children to go. The children are actually opting for that as a rite of passage. So the narrative that the youth have today is that, they have the social media, it's a TikTok decision, I'm sorry to say, it's a misinformation from diaspora, it's semesters coming back think they own the world, and everybody wants to aspire to it. I'll make an analogy on that. If you go to a village, and this is what happened to me many, many years ago, and a young man gets an opportunity to go the Backway, and all of a sudden he's sending back Western Union, and all of a sudden he's building a concrete block house, and he's able to buy a small scooter and a little automobile for his father. Everybody wants to aspire to that, because everyone else is living in a grass hut. It gives them respect, it gives them, So it's the same thing, but it's in a different way. This way, they're looking at social media, misinformation, narrative. The narrative they believe is totally crazy. The situation is, the reality on the ground is when they do get into Spain or any of these places and they're working illegally, 10 or 20 of them are living in a room with a charcoal pot as heating. Yeah, they go outside, they'll take fancy pictures and they'll post them on Facebook and they'll post them on TikTok, and young people aspire to that. So change the narrative. Teach people in schools. The battleground for all this is in schools. If you're making a life and death decision on what? TikTok? Facebook? Semesters? A life and death decision you're going to make on that. And why? The battleground for all of this is education. From 13-year-olds up and before. Teach them about irregular migration. Show them the videos of the shock and horror and awe. Then teach them safe pathways. Education will set you free. The blue card scheme, don't blame Europe for everything. There are safe pathways available. But education. If you can't make it here in the Gambia, do you think a 17-year-old could compete in Europe? Come on. Get a life. It's not going to happen, I'm sorry. The structures aren't the same. So they need to be taught in schools. That's where the battleground of all of this is. Young people get influenced by this. Stop it. It's not the reality. The reality is pictures that I have and Ibrahim have of dead people. Parents, visiting parents. It's shocking what's going on. I'm talking to MOPSI and the education system here. They have to create a fixed migration program in schools, in the curriculum. Solid. Everybody has to do it. And career guidance. How many young people are slipping through our hands that we don't know that could be wonderful at engineers, mechanics. But because of lack of career guidance, those young brains are slipping through the net. And we're still outsourcing labour. So I'm looking for career guidance. I'm looking for teach people about migration. Teach them. Regular, irregular. What's it all about? Instead, today, you have young people making decisions on what? As I said, this semester's and nonsense. Lies. It's all lies. There are very few that make it. Okay, let's take a step back here. Yes, remittance is there. But should this country be solely reliant on remittance? Shouldn't remittance be a barometer for the economy? What happens if the European Union have a fallout financially? America started to tax remittance. So the idea of people leaving a remittance, the whole concept has to change. So for me, my answer to the question here is schools, schools, schools. Teach them. Start in the curriculum.
Thank you. Yes, can we?
So maybe, in one sense, the sensitization is still inadequate. I think many people need to hear Sirikan's story, or Yaya's story, and many other stories. So it's never enough to do that. But then there are so many other factors, like he said. But the core issue at the end of the day is that, like every country, you have to build a system that enables citizens to be able to earn a living, to get jobs, to have opportunities, to support individuals, particularly young people. Because our young people are hardworking. You come out of this building, you'll find young people in the Fitagas, you'll find young people as musicians, you'll find young people as journalists, and so on and so forth. But what other opportunities are there for that career development, for example? Those who are into entrepreneurship, they are running, carpentry workshops, they are running poultries. What support is being given to them to scale up so that, they just don't have a poultry, but they are able to employ more people, they are able to make profit, and, so that asks for a wide range of policies and decisions that the government has to make. Because look at all the countries which are producing migrants, like the Gambia. It's socio-economic issues, political issues, issues of insecurity, and so on. And as I said, in the Gambia, it is not just the back way. There's also the front way. How many Gambians just want to leave the Gambia because services are just poor? People like me and you who are educated, who have skills, all right, but just find the Gambia to be, not just conducive. They want to seek jobs at international organizations. They want to go to Europe and everywhere to leave the Gambia because they feel nothing is working in the Gambia. So that is a governance issue, right? That we need to deal with. All right. So there are so many factors, but certainly sensitization has to also happen so that people are aware of these dangers. And in many cases also we have to recognize some of these people who go on Backway. It's not necessarily their parents ask them to go. I've had my own family, nephews, nieces who went on a Backway. And we are shocked just to realize that, someone has gone. And many families have experienced that because, people have the urge that they just want to go. So there needs to be a lot of sensitization. But above everything else, we have to have proper governance system in this country that will create a socio-economic, sustainable development situation that will make Gambians stay here, and make it here. That even if you have to go out, because migration is a right, you are going through a safe, regular channel, and to go into something that is certain and not into any uncertainty. And that is possible because Gambia, like any other country, is well endowed. So I think a lot of factors are responsible.
I want to add on that because this is a very important question. I know that we have but just 1 minute, okay? I think the question is very important, and like Madi and my friend here said, if you say, I will also say that there are many, many factors, like people lost hope here in the country, but also the mindset. You know, when I was here at first, you know, I was also trained, I wanted to become a journalist, you know. When I was going to school at the same time, I was trying to train myself, working for City Limits. But there was something in my mind that if you don't travel, you will never make it here. It will never be possible. But I think now Gambia itself, people have to be aware and the mindset have to change. People need to see that there is possibilities, of course, even it's going to be slim, but there are possibilities here. But also, people need to find facts. Just like my friend said here, people use TikTok now to find information. And this will kill you. This will put you into a very dangerous situation. So I will ask you guys, have you ever seen some of these people who, you know, share their own experience, share their own problems? Never. You see, Gambians will sit down, go to TikTok and look for car, but they will never go deeply to cite something that's very important for them. And there are many, many possibilities for Gambians to travel to Europe easily. So I would advise Gambians to change their mindset about the whole concept of Europe. So this is going to be my advice to Gambians.
How reliable or confident are you in the data given? Given that there are so many undocumented journeys, because you made mention that this is not from IOM or the Gambia Immigration Department. Have you had any consultations with any of them before getting to conclusion, or you independently do it? And to Mr. Idian, what responsibility do European countries bear, given that Africans are dying trying to reach their borders?
Okay. Thank you. Well, before we came here, I can say 100%, 1,000,000%. I am the only person who can give you data collection in this country more than IOM and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and from migration. I connect with them directly, 24/7. I don't have off day. I don't work in the office. I don't have a time for sleep, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. My lines are always open. I work with the migrant directly. If in 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock you call me, I'm in the sea, I'm there to help if I can do. If any boats arrive, I have to find out this boat, where did it come from? And I have sources. I'm not working alone also. We have associations. These are humanitarian associations. Some are NGO, big NGOs. Alamfun, the CEO of Alamfun will be in Gambia maybe next month. In the Mediterranean Sea, in the Atlantic, we have people everywhere we work with. Everything happening in Gambia here, I give information to them. We also have groups. Whatever happening here, I give information. This is what is happening here in this coast. What is happening in Mali, in Burkina, everything. In these communities will be in Cotonou, in Benin, for some discussion about migration issue. But what I can tell you that the data we have, the Gambia Red Cross here, they have their own data, maybe. The IOM, they have their own data. The ministry, they have their own data. But the data I can give you, these are the official, this is the best data you can ever find in anywhere. Because today, as I'm speaking now, these 6 days, what I was saying here is 592 people arrived in Spain in these 6 days. None of these people are aware of this. They don't even know these boats came from, where they came from, which date and which time they came from. They don't know. Whatever we have this, we record this. Every end of year we publish. Last year we published. Yesterday, as I was saying, yesterday I get a call, 2 Gambians lost their life. IOM is not aware of this. Gambia government is not aware of this. So we collect these data and put them together at the every end of year, and we give this data to the IOM International, not IOM, even Gambia here. We collaborate with them. This is what we also have. I published here about what the Spanish here, there was one association who produce, who tell this here, how many boats they have discovered. We work with these people. We give them the, here when the boats go missing, or I don't have power, I don't have the resources, I don't have the money. But I work with these people to give them the information. This is what happened there. So this is how we collect our data. But for them, we cannot force them. This is what we have. We have to bring them. This is what we have. Government, this is what we have. And these Gambians are here. Any boats that departed here, as I am speaking, 2 boats departed from Gambia here at this moment. One from Farafenye and one from Tangi. Government is not aware of this.
This is crazy.
IOM is not aware of this. I'm the only person who can tell you this. So I will not come here to talk to the public and give them false information. No. What is the benefit of it? So whatever I'm saying here, this is the fact. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Let's have the second question.
Okay, in relation to Europe, the European Union and their impression of Africa, It's a very bad impression. Yet, you know, Europe is 8 miles away from Africa. If you look at Morocco, across, you know. At the end of the day, Europe's demographics are changing. Their population is getting older. Africans need jobs. Europe is looking for workers. They should embrace Africa more than be reactive. I think that there's a necessary need for Europe to embrace Africa because they need us. They need Africa. Because the demographics in Europe are changing severely. Their GDPs, everything depends on labour. But their labour force is getting older. People are living longer, so there's more nursing homes opening. So construction sector, healthcare sector, all screaming out for labour. So circular migration could begin on that, but the training has to start as well. The reason why, you know, Europe is not that attractive to the Gambia by coming here and investing is 2 reasons, like education and electricity. The high labour-intensive industry won't come down here. First thing they look at is the human resources. They'll look at the education of that human resource. I'm advocating myself personally that any training that goes on here has to be certificated and good enough to go to Germany with. A 3-year apprenticeship. I tell you what, electricians, mechanics, you know, plumbers, the rudiments of those trades pretty much the same, yeah? But if you know, mirror image a training program in Europe, Germany or Italy or Spain, and you're training here, everybody will aspire to go there because they get the certificate that once they say they've been here and they did a 3-year apprenticeship, they can go. Pan-Africa as well, so Europe. Europe needs to open the door. It needs to become, visas has to be open. You have to stop this migration issue and let everybody go. Yeah. Under conditions and bonds and all of those things. Open it up. People are dying. Open it up. At the end of the day, Europe will need Africa before Africa will need Europe because the demographics are saying so. They know it. The statistics are showing it. So they need to join with Africa. They need to partner on human resources. They need to train. Start circular migration to the fields that they need in the healthcare, in all the trades in Europe. They're struggling. So embrace Africa. We're 8 miles away from Europe. They're our neighbours. Don't treat Africa as, you know, reactive, you know, a problem. That's all you hear. Oh, Africa, a problem. Babies with flies in their eyes. AIDS. The interpretation and their concept of Africa is totally off the wall. A problem. Africa's a problem. Yes, Europe will always run here for what? Resources. So it's a double standard. But what are they leaving behind? Embrace Africa.
Thank you.
You need Africa. Finish.
Let me just add to that to say resources. The relationship between Africa and Europe did not start with the Backway or in this century. But for centuries, Europe has benefited immensely out of Africa through slavery and colonialism, and until now. What Europe needs to do is to recognize that history and reposition itself to support Africa build good governance, to support Africa build capacity, but also to ensure that there is an international system that is fair and just. For example, trade, to reduce protection in Europe, to allow, say, Gambian farmers, African farmers can send their produce to Europe. All right, and in many other ways to support African Gambian economies to grow. Because when there's prosperity in Africa, Europe stands to gain just as Africa stands to gain. But the relationship, economic and political, unfortunately still remains colonial in structure. And Europe has to decolonize that relationship because as is benefited from the wealth of Africa, not just humans, but minerals, gold, diamond, our land, and so on, in the past. It can still benefit, but let it be on the basis of justice, of fairness, And that is a matter for Europe to realize, to reposition, restructure itself, to have proper policies that is going to create shared prosperity. Otherwise, this situation also, much as we are suffering as Gambia, as Africans, in terms of the casualties, Europe also is suffering from it because many more are going to Europe. Can Europe contain all of these people? What would be the implications on services, and as he said, with a dwindling population, what does that mean for Europe? So I think there needs to be some common sense at the level of Europe to realize that the relationship we have with Africa, not to mention others, is still colonial. It has to change because it is unjust, it is unfair. Thank you. Yeah, so I think I must have responded to this statement. I think this statement is incomplete. It's misleading, and above all, it is running away from responsibility. I think the Gambia government, the previous government and this government have not still taken time to sit back and respond to the Backway within the broader framework of the country's socio-economic development. And so for our political leaders to stand at the platform and speak in ways that seem to even blame the youth and their families, I think that is rather unfortunate. And I hope we are in the National Youth Parliament now, all right? We have the National Youth Council, we have organizations like this. Maybe the time has come for the youth to sit with the president face to face and have a serious conversation about the situation of the youth in this country, and all the issues that they confront. But just like the Minister of Information sitting there sending sound bites, which are misleading without evidence, or the president, standing at a platform also sending, comments that are rather unfortunate, that is not going to bring solution. But also youths have to take responsibility, that you are not bystanders. If anything, the youths are the majority in this country. You are the leaders of today and tomorrow. And this issue confronts you directly. And for me, the time has come for youth organizations to mobilize, and our youths in general to demand a serious conversation with the government at the highest level. And conversation that will produce results, serious recommendations that will be implemented. I think that's what I would say.
Thank you. Well, first of all, we are not a politician first. We don't involve on it. As I was saying before, I go through this Backway. John, I go by myself. Chidi, sitting here, he also go through Libya. We all go the same process from Libya, Italy, then he go to Germany. But the problem here is, since I make that announcement that the under-17 boat has sunk, I make this and I swear that 1,000,000%, if the government come out and tell me, Ibrahim, what you tell me, what you report this boat it doesn't sink, the boat, the people are here, that's the day I'm gonna stop this migrant activity. What I'm doing, I know government cannot find out anything from this, 100,000,000% so, because I know what I'm doing. Since I came to this country, I went to State House. We couldn't meet the president, but we meet the Minister of Youth and the Youth Advisor to the President. We went to the Interior. We went to the Director to the Immigration. We went to Chairman Dabo in Brikama. We here Bensuda. We meet a lot of people. We are not here because of us. We are here for. Here there are a lot of people here, migrants who are here. They have something to pull out. Because since they came out here, they are suffering in this country. Their integration system in this country is zero. Everything with migrants here in this country. I see migrants who came from Libya, they come to this country, 3 days, 4 days, they take another boat from here, they go again. Because they came back. I met people yesterday. These are women. They lost their children. Some lost their husband with them last year. They are here. Since they come here, nothing. Even the society look at them. Here, when you are even deported here, the society look at you like you are a failure. It gives them traumatized. It forced them again to go. Yesterday, there is the boat that just arrived 2 days ago. I know someone in that boat. I am the one who tried to rescue their boat last year in Libya. 40 people of them has drawn. 27 of them are Gambians. The boy just came back 2 days ago. He entered in Spain again. Since he told me, Ibrahim, I'm going, don't go. I even told him, if I know when any boat we are in, I'm going to report you to the police. He told me, no, I cannot survive in this country. And these are a lot of migrants who are sitting here. If they have the same chance today, they will go back. Because they don't have hope in this country. So this is the problem. We are not here for politics. What we are here for, the reason we go to the government to tell them this is what the migrants are facing. What can we do to join our hands together to help these people out? Yes, we are open. That's why. Yes.
No, for government, for Ali Willie.
Well, I don't know. It's not
we have one more question from him, the other one. Yes.
We have plenty of meetings.
Introduce it. So if you have any further questions, you can please jot it down.
Can we say something about it? Because this is important. I think what I want to say about that is that the government should do something to work with people like.
I think we can treat my question as well. I'm saying with the knockings that you did so far, do you think
they give us promises. They will get back to us. We write to them, we put letters there, but now 2 months, nobody's get back to us for now.
I'm urging the government to try by all means, because this is very important. Migration is a big problem in our country now, and these people are here for that, you understand? For us, we are down there, but they are here in the ground.
My biggest worry here is this. This is the smallest country on the continent of Africa. It has the largest population under the age of 25. The very future of this country is the youth. If you lose the youth here, and you are, the demographics are changing. There's a demographic tip where there's more females in schools than predominantly male schools. You know, young women here are suffering to find suitable husbands. They're gone. Yeah. The high labour, there's labour from other countries coming into this country. So,
thank you.
You know what?
Thank you.
Yeah, the boat that just sank now, this is something I don't want to even go back to it, because I have uploaded something about the weather forecast in our page. The following day this thing happened. As I'm speaking today, I think this morning we recovered 4 dead bodies. They recovered 4 dead bodies. Yesterday, I think 8 dead bodies also found. At the moment, I think it's 24 dead bodies that has been recovered. What we believe, the information we get direct from the families, migrant, because since before this boat sank, I was speaking with migrants themselves who are part of this boat. Before they sank, Andre also was talking to them, and we were talking with the Spanish Navy also. Because Gambian Navy, I've been calling them more than 1 hour, I can't get any interest. So I know if the communication was very early to get, the boat will not be sunk, but it's already happening. Yeah, but we still believe now there are more than 85. No, another 85 people are still missing. Yeah, but we hope so. The families will come out one by one. They will say we'll publish their names. That's why we are telling people. For us, what we connect directly from the migrants. Whatever is happening, we tell them this. Any information we do, we publish. This is the fact. If you don't believe it, okay, we cannot force anyone to believe it. Even the families, the parents themselves, when I tell them the boat sank here, your children are not alive, I tell them, please, if you believe me, this is the truth. I can find it. But some will even tell you, so I don't have problem with those things. Because this boat that sank in 2017, Mansakunda, I want to say this Mandinka, because Mansura Kamamu, Mansakunda la publication on ying, I enter batan back. Because Nakata Kubala Kaji, I enter more than 2 weeks, Moka Sutoshino. I find a lot of things. Kumandu black mandaming, because Naka Nindro Kenyaman. But if Mansakunda funded ko Italia ko ni kisikis kan little magic. But it didn't cool over feeling what mean. At this moment on the 5th cool over feeling. What is Mansakunda doing? Did you Mansakunda Yamu cake? But tomorrow when I come out on the 5th moment are they coming out again Malala Makisila? At this moment if they want Hanibini and Tokmani Ibrahim Natal come here, Kulumena cook at the Lafa, I will give them a melon ball for them. I'm open to them, Tamantajanko, Femmabu, Fofin. men bebe siri janga fala ja migration be mol be ja and I work with them men yan ko they are tiktokers they help us spread ka fo fendim foy fanan ka tarjande to public ka itan di banku dun la dina be keri kan ko don so wa kan man nika kan this and this danger membe keri but when we are open the government so ni me bulol yele we don't have the power to go to them. Thank you.